Hello guys, this is Akshat Jain. So today we are going to create a password manager. So let's first run it and see what our GUI will look like. Yes, so here is our GUI. We have pasted or we have made a label password manager which must be in the center of this frame, and its X direction is 0.5 but its Y direction should be 0.1 or 0.2 because we want this at top because this is the heading of our password manager or our frame. And below that we need website, email, password and text field just adjacent to them with some space, and a clear button just adjacent to text field which will clear these text field when in need, and one button to save password and one button to open saved password. So let's see how to position these labels and buttons. Okay, so here it is. We have a password, save password, a button for saving password. So we have made it centered by giving its real access as 0.5, and we want it to be at 0.65 in y direction. Similarly, I have opened a password and the open password is just below the save password. So its real access will be same and the real y will be greater than real y so that it comes below the save password. And then we have a button for clear all which must be adjacent to text field, so I have given the real axis and real y position accordingly and have decided the anchor as E so that it must not collapse with text field, and similarly I have given other labels. And there I have created three input text field where user will enter his email, website and password. So let's go on with the code. So here we are. As soon as the user enter in input text 1 his email, and input text 2 his email, input text 1 his website and in input text 3 his password, after that he will click on save password and the save password will call the function save pass. So let's look out the function save password. Here it is, save password. So basically save password will extract the website from the text field 1, the email from text field 2 and the password from text field 3. Here end-C is the encoding type. The string is encoded in end1C, and after extracting the password we want to encrypt that password. So we are calling a function encrypt and passing the argument as PASW which we have get it from input text 3. So there are various means to encrypt data, but in this situation we have just followed a simple approach in which we will just convert our data into ASCII value and will multiply it with a prime number. So as soon as we call this encrypt pass, this function starts running and this accepts one argument as text, and here we are giving PASW as its argument which is from input text 3. So here we have defined a blank list. So for character in text, which means running a loop for every character in text. Suppose I have a text name IJKL, then character will be I, J, K and L, and this loop will run for 4 times. So similarly for character in text, the character will be every digit or every bit of the password. So every character will get converted into ASCII value and the ASCII value will be a int digit or a int number, and that number will be multiplied by 83 and its return value will be and its value will be stored in this list, and this list will be returned back to our save password function and will be stored in pass. So after that we are just printing pass so that I can show you what has been returned. After that I am creating a RESR, again a empty list in which after that we will see what why we have created this, but before this I want to show you that after doing this we will be opening save password.txt file as read mode, and we will read all the resources or all the content present in that file, and then we will split its content. Moving forward, the I must be length less than L length. What is length? Length is the length of resources we have read. So after that I will open the file again in read mode and will read lines, and here Suppose I have created a text file, so I am entering values here like first line will be website, then second line will be email, and third line will be password. So here I am reading it as first line. First line will be First line will be our website, second line will be of our email, and the third line will be password. So here I have mentioned a condition that if first line is equals to website, here website is what user have mentioned, and here second line is email what user has mentioned in the GUI. If these both are same, then we don't need to create other lines or other block for saving new password, because he is using same website and same email, so we must update his password if it's present in our text field. So I will just open the text file and check that if these things are present and are similar, then we must not create a new block and just update the previous password. So this block will do this, and a alert will be shown that password has been updated. The alert will be shown using message box. Okay, so what if the website and email he has entered has not been present in our file or in our password file? Then it will create a new block where it will update the new password. Okay, so now what if user click on open save password? As soon as you click on open save password, this function will start running, and this function will extract the website which the user has entered and the email which user has entered, and then will again create a blank list, and will open the save password and read the lines. And as soon as it read lines, it will check out that whether we have any line which has same password and same email as the user has entered. So if yes, then it will just open this decrypt function, and we will decrypt that password. So decrypting is simple. The password will be stored in this format. Suppose for first character it is something like this, suppose for second character it is something like this, and so on. So we want to first remove these square brackets, so we are removing these square brackets via strip. Then after that we want to remove these colons or these commas, it will be commas. So I will remove these commas and will divide these number with the same prime factor I have multiplied, divide by 83. So by this I will get a ASCII value which is the original value which we have encrypted, and after that I will convert this ASCII value into the string value again. So here I am doing this. I am stripping the square brackets and I am removing the commas, and then I am converting it into int. Just take care. Here int I divided by 83 will result in a float value something like this. So I cannot convert this value back to string. So I just need to convert it into int. So I will typecast it again like this. So here int I, first the I value is getting typecasted to int and then divided by 83, because this I is saved as a string in the notepad. So I must typecast it into int before dividing, and after the dividing into 83 I will get a float value which must be typecasted back to int. And here fpass. So fpass will be a variable which will store the password. Here join means, suppose if we want to join something in our variable which contains a string value, then we can use join. Similarly for list, we can use dot append. So here it is just a string, so we are using dot join, and what the map function does is it maps all the items present in list with character. Suppose let's make an example. Suppose I have a list which has values 1 2 3 4 and 5, and I want to multiply all of them by 2. So the one way of doing it is run a loop and multiply all of them by 2, and another way of doing is just use map and type 2 comma this list, so it will multiply each element of that list by 2. So here similarly I want to typecast, or I want to convert all the ASCII values back to characters, so I am just using this map here, and after that I will display the password in the password field. So let's run it. Okay, so before that I want to show you that my save password file is empty. Now let's delete this all and save it, and now running it. Suppose I am using website AK, email ak@mail.com, and password is 123AK, and I am saving password. New password save. Let's check this. Yes, here it is. But here, as you can see, the password is not what we have entered. It is encrypted into a different format which we don't know. So now let's see what this clear function do, or a clear all button do. Suppose I have some values in this field, and when I press the clear all button, it will basically clear all this field. Now I want to save password again. So I will just reuse it. Okay. So website is AK only, and email is again ak@mail.com. So now it will not create another block because we have same entries with same values. So when I will click on password and I will enter a new password, suppose like this, and save password, and now when I again see the password file, this record will get updated, but no new record will get open. So suppose I want to make a new record, then I will use different website like KJ or KL and ak@mail.com, and give it a password like this and save password. Then we will get a alert that new password saved, and after this we open this, then we get a new block here. So now I want to see that what password have been saved. Suppose I typed AK, and in mail I typed @a@mail.com. So there is no record like this in our text field, so it must not show any password. So when I click on open save password, it shows no record. So now if I want password of this and I click on open saved password, it will decrypt this password into our original password. This was our original password. So this was one of the method to encrypt and decrypt our data. There are various other methods. I will discuss one of the method with you right now. So previously we see that we encrypted and decrypted the data by just converting the value into ASCII values and then multiplying it with a prime number, and we are decrypting it by dividing it by 83 or the same prime number and then converting it back to char. But there are other methods also. One of the method is using cryptography. So in cryptography, first we have to create a key file. That key file will help us encrypt the data and decrypt the data. So you must first install the module via pip. You can use pip install cryptography in your command prompt, and if you are using any other software like PyCharm or Anaconda, then there are other ways to do it like Conda install cryptography and so on. So I have done it via CMD by using this command. After that I will import this module for that. So basically after importing is I want to make a key file. That key file will help us encrypt the data and decrypt the data. So I am using a key variable and using fornet dot generate key. This will generate a key, a random key, and we will save that as in a variable key, and then we will create a key by opening a key file dot key in WB mode. WB is basically write bits or write byte, and if this file is not present in this location, then it will create one location and write this key in that file. So let's run this. Okay, so as you see that there was no file key here, but now we have a file key dot key. Let's see what's inside this. So here we got our generated key. It will be random and will be different if we run it different time, but we must save the key, and once we have encrypted data with certain key, then only that key can decrypt that data. No other key cannot, no other key can decrypt it. So I am saving it here, and I have a test file here. Suppose I want to encrypt this data. This data can be our password file, or here I am using a test file because I just want to show you how it's going. So now I will run encrypt data. So encrypt data is just importing that module again, and then we are reading that key. That key is file key.read. We are reading this file here, and after that we are using fornet equals to fornet.key. This fornet will help us in encrypting the data. After that we are opening our text file in RB mode. So in RB mode it will read all the content present in this test file.txt. Currently this data is not encrypted, so it will open and will encrypt all that data using this key. So as soon as this data gets encrypted, it will again open this test file and will write the encrypted data. So let's run this. Okay, so it's done. So now when I open the test file, I will see something like GAA or text, and that's totally encrypted. We don't know what's inside this. So now what if I want to read what inside this? Then I must decrypt it. So I will use decrypt script. So what decrypt script is doing is it will again open the key file. So I already told you that I have to use same file key or same key for which I have used in encryption. I cannot decrypt it with some other key. So I will again open this key, will read all the content of this key, and will save it in fornet. After that I will open the test file which I have encrypted using this key. So here I am opening that and will read all the content and will decrypt it using the key. After decrypting, I will write the decrypted data back again in that file. So till now our data is encrypted. So let's decrypt it. Yes, it's done. So now let's see. Here it is. Our data has been decrypted. So you can use this method also in password manager to encrypt and decrypt data.